Hello everybody, it's Mike Sevier from Vox Political again. I think I should apologise for the state of my face. I'm still recovering from the flu that knocked me low last week. If I seem to drool, it's because I've got a locket in my mouth. This basically keeping me fluid, hopefully. But I wanted to comment on a video that Crispin Flintoff put up along with Steve Walker of Squawkbox, referring to the attack on social media businesses that deal with politics. So it's theirs and mine. It was a segment of the Crispin Flintoff show in which I was supposed to be a participant, but I had to back out at the last moment, and instead I spent the interview allotted time shivering, sneezing and coughing under a small mountain of blankets and duvets. What can you do? I apologised profusely to Crispin and offered him my notes for the interview, which would have taken it in a different direction, but he didn't reply. After watching the clip, I think I can understand his reasons. See, Crispin started by recounting his troubles with Facebook, the fact that the platform has prevented him from inviting viewers to his shows for no identifiable reason, the fact that his Facebook account was then hacked and the email and phone number changed, and he could not even raise the matter with Facebook because the platform provides no contact details. This is interesting because the Provision of Services Regulations 2009 explicitly state that businesses providing services in the UK must provide contact details for rapid and direct communication, such as email or phone. They must also provide contact details for making complaints and information requests. So, it seems Facebook has been breaking the law. It seems the organisation used to provide contact information, but has removed it in recent years, so not only is it breaking the law, but it has apparently made a conscious decision to do so. It seems that this is also true for the other big social media platforms like YouTube and X. Crispin goes on to explain that somebody had then extracted money from 3 bank accounts at random times overnight, not to buy anything. The cash went only as far as Facebook. He concluded that it was an attempt to demoralize him because he had to stay awake until around 3 a.m. in order to track the fraudulent transactions and report them to his banks. This may explain why he has not replied to my emails, and if it is the reason, then it's entirely understandable. Crispin expressed his disappointment with the lack of service provided by Facebook. The platform did not help him in any way, even in dealing with the dishonest activity there. This too is a breach of the UK General Data Protection Regulations, GDPR, as a lot of people may know them, to which Facebook must adhere if it wishes to operate in the UK. These state that Facebook must honour the security principle, that the organisation must process personal data securely by means of an appropriate technical and organisational by means of appropriate technical and organisational measures. Measures must ensure the confidentiality, integrity and availability of a business's systems and services and the personal data it processes within them. They must also enable a firm to restore access and availability to personal data in a timely manner in the event of a physical or technical incident. And these are just the obvious breaches that I can see from a first scan of the regulations. Meanwhile, despite having been cut off from the platform, Crispin's Facebook page or pages is or are still there and may be used to bring Crispin and his show into disrepute. So he has called for people to be aware that any messages from Facebook purporting to be from him are from fraudsters. But this is a time in which the mainstream media simply aren't publishing the news that we need to hear. Instead, we get propaganda. I mean, is it any of Elon Musk's business how the UK deals with child sexual exploitation? He has no understanding of government policy on this, and much as I've had differences with her in the past, he certainly has no right to endanger Jess Phillips by spouting ignorant nonsense about it. But the media have leapt on this story because it means they don't have to cover the serious issues that are facing us. For those, you have to go to the social media, sites like Steve Squawkbox, Crispin's show, my site, Vox Political, and others like them. but you can't, because Facebook pushes us down to the bottom of your newsfeed or off it altogether and dishes you out the propaganda instead, whether you asked for it or not. Is that the information revolution you wanted? Steve's response was surprisingly upbeat. If we weren't troubling them, then they wouldn't need to bother doing all this stuff. By them, he means the nonsense propagandists who are filling your TV screens and newspapers with bilge and the social media platforms like Facebook and Musk's X that support them. He went on to state that the campaign against social media politics writers had taken a sinister turn, with Richard Medhurst being threatened with arrest if he does not divulge the passwords for the devices, the computers, etc., that he uses in the course of his journalistic work. This is, of course, illegal. As a journalist, he has a right to protect his sources from everybody, including the state. And he said organized lobby groups are in the habit of complaining to platforms like Facebook in order to have them take down material that exposes the groups they support. Groups backing the genocidal Israeli government of Benjamin Netanyahu were mentioned. He said Israel's supporters had thought they could drain Squawk Box of funds by making donations of single penny via PayPal. But this was not true, because if the transaction cost is more than the donation, then the donation is taken as the cost. All they did was give a few thousand pennies to PayPal. And I can confirm this tactic because they tried it on me too. He suggested the online harms bill is an attempt to attack left-wing media, as is the arrest campaign against prominent left-wing writers, but it shows we're still in the game. For me, the problem with this is it means that the UK law has been perverted by those in power, not just the current Labour government, but the Tories before, specifically to attack sites like Vox Political and others, to deplatform us, defund us, drive us out of business. And at the moment, they're doing a great job. How many other people do you think are being allowed to watch this, besides you? And how do you feel knowing that the entire UK establishment is dedicated not just to silencing me, but to wiping me out because they don't like what I'm saying? There must be some truth to it, eh? Anyway, that's all I've got to say about that for the moment. Thank you for listening. I'm going back to my sick bed. Have a good day. Bye for now.